something new every day, guys. Like today, I learned that if I make a joke about suicide at work, I get a paid day's leave. Speaking of suicide, let's get relatable. How many of you have ever been so depressed that you don't feed your animals for 3 days because if you can't be happy, fuck them? There's so much to talk about. I've heard 3 different comics tell stories, and I'm like, oh, it's like they've all pulled parts of my life and started talking about them. When I was 12 years old, I was shitting blood, and guess what happened at 12 years old? Finger up the butt. That's no time for that. That's no time for that. Talking about crying, yeah. Tell you guys what, I'll tell you about the first time I ever had my adult cry. I was 23. It was supposed to be a great day. I was supposed to find out the sex of my brother's child. He pulls up. We all surround him. We're like, what is it? What is it? He goes, oh, you're gonna have a niece. By the way, Ricky died. Ricky was our best friend, and cancer took him, guys. But to cheer me up, guys, him and his girlfriend took me to Culver's, home of the world-famous Butterburger. And as we're sitting there, and I take the first bite of that burger, it sinks in that my friend has died, and I'll never see him again. And I start bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, Ricky, I miss you, brother. God, too soon. And the asshole sitting right next to me turns and he goes, the burger's not even that good! Faggot! I wish that wasn't a true story. I tell you guys that because I got sober 2 years ago, and one of the things they don't tell you about getting sober is that you're gonna cry. I mean, a lot. Stupid things. To prove my point, I was just watching Friday the 13th Part 1 not too long ago. And at the beginning, when Jason drowns, I start bawling my fucking eyes out. I'm like, why? Why did you kill Larry again? His only crime is he wanted to be one of the cool kids. And why would Mom and Dad even send you to summer camp? It just means we love you, but we need a break. So that's where I'm at in life, guys. So yeah, contrary to all the sad shit you guys heard, my life actually isn't that bad. I'm in an okay place in my life, okay? Like for the first time, I have a great job, I have insurance, I told you guys I'm sober, that's great, you know, like life, and you guys are all looking at me like, Dave, that's called being an adult, dipshit. I get it, right? But my life didn't always used to be great. Like when I was 5 years old, I witnessed my parents get murdered in front of me out in an alley behind an opera house because some jerk off wanted my mom's pearl necklace. And I know some of you guys are like, Dave, I'm not sure, but that sounds an awful lot like the story of Batman. But I told you guys, done a lot of drugs. I confuse my life with superheroes on a pretty regular basis. If I'm up on top of a skyscraper looking over the edge, I'm like, I bet I could fly like Superman. And then I have to remind myself, no, Dave, that's just your depression talking. I feel like you guys aren't quite sure if these are jokes or a cry for help. Tell you what, in 6 months on Facebook Live, we'll find out. So I was talking about my niece earlier. I don't have kids. I know none of you do either. No, a couple of you do. My mom's here and my dad, very much alive in the back. They're like, and my parents are super cool, by the way, guys. They've been supportive of everything I've done except drugs and comedy. Everything else, they were like, no, totally. No, I'm kidding, dude. They're fucking great people. But my niece, that little girl is too smart for a 7-year-old. Recently, she came up to me, and me and my brother are just sitting there talking, and she just comes up and she goes, "Hey, Uncle Dave, what's sex?" I was like, "What?" She goes, "What's sex?" I was like, nope, nope. That is a big question with a big answer, and that is out of my pay grade. Go talk to your father. She scampers off for a second, comes back. She goes, "He wouldn't tell me." I was like, "No surprise." She's like, "What's sex?" I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. So we go back and forth for another couple minutes until finally a 7-year-old girl wears me down. If a 7-year-old girl can wear me down to answer this question, I'm letting you know, if we get caught by the cops for murdering somebody, I will rat you out in a heartbeat. Just letting you know that, throwing that out there. Don't ask me to bury bodies with you. So I'm like, fine. You want to know what sex is? Sex is when a man and a woman love each other very much, and they rub belly buttons together. Guys have outies, girls have innies. And I swear to Christ, this little girl said, this is 100% true, she goes, "Someday I'm gonna marry the guy with the biggest outie belly button." And my brother walks by and he goes, "No! It's not about the size of his belly button, it's how he uses it!" And the only thing that could have made that more awkward is if this little girl had gone, "Someday I'm gonna marry the guy with the biggest, blackest belly button." Yeah, that little girl's a trip, man. She has been. When she was 2 years old, I was very irresponsible with that little girl. I had to babysit her a lot when she was younger. And I never thought the day would come where she could learn how to talk. And then one day she threw me for a loop. Never heard her speak till one day I just hear her running around the apartment. She trips and, oh fuck. The worst part about this, guys, is you never really think about how fuck can be used until you're chasing a little girl and she's using it properly. Because she realized she wasn't supposed to say it and she yells out again, "Oh fuck." And I'm chasing her around the house like a fucking, Indiana Jones getting chased by a boulder, And she's just, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck." But yeah, do you guys remember that time when you realized you were going to hell? Alright, well, this was about 2 years ago. My niece, I love her, but I always used to do this thing where I'd go up to her and I would tickle her, and she hated it. She'd spaz out. So one night, I'm like, "Hey, Sarah, come here. Uncle Dave wants to give you a hug." She's like, "No, you're gonna tickle me." And I was like, fuck, little bitch is onto me. And so I do the one thing I can think of, my little Hail Mary. I'm like, "Sarah, I swear to God, may he strike me dead. I just want to give you a hug." And I'm here to tell you guys, little asshole fell for it. So she comes over and I wrap my arms around her and I just start tickling the shit out of her. And she starts bawling her eyes out. And for a minute, I thought it was because I tickled her, until I realized it was because I taught a 5-year-old there is no God. And if that's not why I'm going to hell, then it's the time she caught me and her father snorting vitamins off her My Little Pony mirror. And that's a really awkward conversation to have with her mom when she walks into the bedroom and catches her doing the same with Flintstone's jewels. It's like, that's not how you... No, you're doing good. Keep it up, kid. You know when you get the drip, you're doing it good. So guys, I'm not done this fucking... Your guns and babies joke. I have a guns and babies joke too. They're very different, but they involve both. Guys, I'm not trying to get political. I'm not trying to any of that. I don't give a fuck one way or the other. I'm indifferent to guns. Okay, I know it's a hot button issue, but I don't care. What I do hate though are those assholes who say guns are like my kids. They're like my babies. Guns are nothing like kids, and I will prove it to you. I've not once, not one time, had to throw a child out of the window of my car when I was running from the cops. How long is the light, Chase?